Hello and welcome to vlog number 5. Today I'm going to look into time-lapses a bit closer. So what kind of time-lapses are there, when you can use them to make your videos better, and how you actually create them. You might be wondering, why am I sitting in the car even though I'm supposed to stay at home? Well, I'm on my way grocery shopping. Annika did a whole lot of food and cooking planning for this whole week and gave me a huge list of groceries I need to shop. And since it is quite a big list and also some heavy stuff, I'm taking the car today. All right, let's see how much I need to queue. But before that, I get ready with my gloves. Ready for shopping. So yeah, that's the queue. Finally, I'm in. So let's go to the shopping list now. Almost there. Whew, that was quite a marathon. There was a lot of time-lapsing inside the grocery store, but I'll come back to that in just a bit when I'm finished with unpacking. Ready to go home. Hopefully the traffic, or at least the traffic, is not as bad as the people being inside. Okay, that's done. So now let's talk about time lapses. First, what is a time lapse? Well, technically speaking, it's a sequence of picture taken in a set interval, played at normal speed. So put simply, it's just a video played faster than normal speed actually. So what does it convey and when does it make sense to use in a video? It comes to two things. One is it shows the passing of time, and the other is it's an emphasis on movement. So it gives you a feel like everything is moving faster than it actually is, and it gives you a sense of busyness, restless, kind of a fast pace. And because of that, there is usually kind of two things that need to be there that it makes sense to use them. So the first one is if you have movement, for example, moving clouds or cities where you have a lot of cars and people moving. And then the other one is if you want to show something, an object, a person or a place which is transforming. For example, a sunset or a sunrise, or also if you have a change in weather, or when you build something. And it could also be used on a place. For example, if you're there very early in the morning, it's still empty, and then within the next hour it's a lot of tourists coming and the place is filling up, and it goes through a transformation in that sense as well. Well, but that's enough talk about what a time-lapse is and when to use them. Let's now go look into how you actually create a time-lapse. Well, there is 3 methods how you can achieve a time-lapse. The first option is use an intervalometer to set an interval and tell your camera to take a picture every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds, or whatever you decide to do, and let the camera do the work. The big advantage of this option is that you have the highest quality that you can possibly get out of your camera, because you can use the full resolution, and you also have the most flexibility in adjusting the colors and everything else in the editing software. But the disadvantage is that you actually need to go into the editing software and put the time-lapse together yourself. There is a bit an easier way of doing it, so most of today's cameras they have a time-lapse function built in where you can actually do a time-lapse video where the camera does take the pictures but then compresses it into a video file in the end, which you can just directly export and use. The biggest advantage of this one obviously is it doesn't take a lot of space and it's very easy to use. The disadvantage though is that you don't have a lot of flexibility in adjusting it if something went wrong. And then the third option is you just put the camera on video mode and record in normal time, import it later on into the editing software and speed it up. The biggest advantage of this one is that usually you record audio with it as well, and you have the option to later on slow it down to normal speed whenever you require and then speed it up again. But the biggest disadvantage of this one is it takes a huge amount of space and has still less quality than the first option. Now let me show you on the computer how they look and what is required to get the time-lapse. So the first option is where you take all the pictures and then put it together in the editing software. So let's do that. First, you need to import all the pictures that you took. Create a new project and then just put all the pictures into the timeline. Now, there is only one thing you need to do. Select all the pictures in the timeline and then make the duration for each photo just 1 frame and put it together as a compound clip. Bam, and there you go, you have the time-lapse running. So for the second option, when you use the time-lapse function inside your camera, then it basically is just as simple as importing the video file. Once done, you need to select the clip and put it inside the timeline, and voila, time-lapse is already done. For the third option, it's basically just importing the whole recorded video and speed it up. And there you go, you have it as a time-lapse. So yeah, you see, they are all quite simple to handle in post-production. If quality is your main concern, as mentioned before, you would use the first option. If efficiency and low storage is your primary concern, then you would choose the second option. And if you want to have the ability to slow it down to normal speed and speed it up again later on, and if you want to have audio, then obviously you need to take the third option. The cool thing about time-lapses really is it's super easy to do, and it's also super easy to learn at home. Just put the camera outside of the window or the balcony and record anything like clouds, sunset or whatever else I have talked about. I for myself will definitely do this more often and try to get better in doing time lapses so I can use them more often in future videos. And that's it for today. I really thank you for watching. I hope you did learn something. If you did, hit the like button. If you're also a hobby videographer like me and want to learn together with me, then hit the subscribe button. In any case, I really hope to see you again in the next video, and until then, stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.